we are back with another D&D Movie Time, and today we are going to be ending summer, the season. We ended our summer vacation with the Goofy movie, but now this is going to be like the end of the summer season, our one final blowout for a summer movie. And today we're going to be revisiting with a good old friend, John McClane. Now, do you remember who John McClane is, Cora?
No.
He saved the hostages at the Nakatomi Tower when he went against some terrorists who took over at a Christmas party. When he came to see his wife, they were separated in the first Die Hard. And then he had to save his wife again. Well, now they were back together. He had to save her again in Die Hard 2. And that also took place at Christmas time when John McClane had to take out terrorists at an airport. And when the military guys showed up to help, it turned out they were in on it too. They were part of the terrorist group too. So, and it had Carl from Family Matters in it. Remember Carl? He liked to eat your favorite things, Twinkies.
Those Oreos.
No, he ate Twinkies.
Okay, fine. But my favorite thing to eat is Oreos.
But anyways, alright, we're going to go ahead and jump into the third installment, Die Hard with a Vengeance. I don't know if we'll be reviewing any more after this. Maybe we'll do the next one on the 4th of July. And maybe we'll do the 5th one just to finish it off. So we might revisit this franchise next summer. If that's something you want to see, leave a comment down below that you want to see us review that. Get our thoughts. I know a lot of people don't care about those two movies. But I think I have some interesting thoughts when it comes to those. So, alright. But that's not what we're talking about today. We are talking about Die Hard with a Vengeance. So sit back, relax, and we will see you after the movie.
Bye.
Of a mastermind of terror.
I want to play a game with Lieutenant McClane.
What kind of game?
Simon Says.
The path to revenge leads straight to John McClane.
If we don't do it, this guy says he's gonna blow up another public.
Well, why me? What has it got to do with me?
I have no idea. Just said it had to be you.
It's nice to be needed.
Simon Says. Get to the paper in Wall Street Station by 10:20. Or the number 3 train and its passengers vaporized.
I'm not jumping through hoops for some psycho. That's a white man with white problems. You deal with it.
Where the hell are you going, McClane? I know what I'm doing. Not even God knows what you're doing.
This guy wants to pound on you till you crumble.
Are you aiming for these people?
No. Well, maybe that mime. He wants you to dance to his tune and then kill you. Oh, dear.
You're right because I'm white. I don't like you because you're gonna get me killed.
May 19th.
This is a bad idea. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a New York police officer. I'm gonna ask you to calmly and quietly start moving towards the other end of the car.
The theater goes dark.
Trust me, guys.
Duck. The roof blows off. there setting off bombs. And for some reason, he's very angry with me. This, as they say, is where the plot thickens. They knocked over the Federal Reserve! Bruce Willis, Jeremy Irons, Samuel L. Jackson. Congratulations! You're still alive. Yippee-ki-yay! In a John McTiernan film, Die Hard, with a Vengeance. John McClane, NYPD. Are you all right? Yes. Hungry day.
Alright, so we just finished Die Hard with a Vengeance. So to make this quick, because we got a lot to go over, we're back with John McClane, and there's a bomb that goes off in New York City. John's being suspended currently, but the bad guy calls the police and tells them that he wants John McClane to play some games. Basically, he wants to play a version of Simon Says. And if the police do not cooperate with his demands, he's going to blow up more bombs in more heavily populated areas.
Liquid bombs.
Oh, we didn't get to that part. It's later. Why are you always trying to jump the gun?
What do you mean jump?
Means get to a point where we're not at yet. Anyways, so they get John McClane and they tell him that the bad guy has a task he wants him to do, which is to wear nothing but his boxers and walk down the streets of Harlem wearing a very racist sign, which I won't say what it says. I really did not like the racism in this movie, but other than that, so Samuel L. Jackson ends up getting involved when he sees John McClane, and he goes over to try to talk him some sense into John McClane. Doesn't realize John McClane's a cop, and so he ends up trying to save him, but John ends up saving him, and they get out of there because a gang comes over to mess with John. And then the terrorist, or the bad guy, wants Samuel L. Jackson to play alongside with John McClane because he got involved. That's when we learn that these bombs that the bad guy is using is some sort of liquid bomb that if the two chemicals mix, it explodes. Otherwise, it's harmless. The chemicals on their own are harmless. So they begin a task of doing whatever Simon tells them to do. And the first thing he wants them to do is get across town to a subway to answer a phone. And that task is sort of set to fail. And so then they have to keep doing more things. But meanwhile, since that one failed, it opened the door on, because it happened around Wall Street, it opened the door for the bad guys to pull off a bank robbery. So they're not actually terrorists, they're just bank robbers. Which is very reminiscent of the first movie. And then we also learned that the bad guy, who Cora did not guess, even though she's seen Lion King, we finally learned that this Simon guy is actually Simon Gruber, the brother to Hans Gruber, the bad guy from the first movie. We also did not get Carl Winslow in this movie. In fact, he never comes back into the franchise again. Which is kind of a downer, because I kind of liked having him around, but...
Who's he again?
He was the cop from the first movie that helped John from outside the building. And then we only got a tiny glimpse of him in the second movie. When John called him from the airport to get fingerprint IDs on the dead guy. But then anyways, so John starts figuring it out. And he realizes that this running around was just a distraction, so that way the bad guys could really make off with all the gold. And they go after the bad guys, end up tracking them down to a boat where they're going to try to supposedly get away. But then the bad guy captures them and tells them, oh, they were never really trying to get away with the gold. They're going to blow it up in the harbor, which is really stupid. Because, like, gold's not going to probably be ruined by a bomb going off. Like, even if the bomb could burn hot enough to melt the gold, it would still just wind up on the bottom of the harbor. Yeah, true, people might be able to go down there and get it, but I think the government would spare no expense to do every inch of salvation to go and clean the bottom of that bay to make sure they got all the gold back. But we learned that from John that this whole thing is a ruse. They never really loaded the gold onto the ship because he's pulling basically the same thing his brother pulled in the first movie. You know, make them appear like they're dead and it's over and done with so they can slip away without too much of an incident. So John and Samuel L. Jackson, they escape, and they think that Simon got away, but it turns out Simon had given John some aspirin pills because John keeps complaining about having a headache, which he really probably should see a doctor because, like, he was complaining about his headache throughout the entire movie. And he was taking aspirin pills left and right. If you're taking aspirin and the aspirin's not working, I'm pretty sure you got something worse than a headache going on.
Maybe got migraine.
Even a migraine. That's the whole point of aspirin, is to get rid of those. If it's persisting after so long, because I mean, it's pretty much the end of the day. It's evening by, like, it started off at like 7 in the morning and it ended, well, that part was like probably like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm sorry, if you've been taking aspirin all day and it has been helping, because he eats like 4 or 5 of them definitely right at the beginning of the movie. And that should have been enough. Like, in 20 minutes that headache should have been gone forever. I mean, I don't get hungover because I don't drink, but I'm pretty sure that headache would have been gone. So anyways, yeah, so basically on the bottom of the aspirin bottle is the location to where the bad guys were going, because it's for the motel that they're staying at. So John somehow manages to go there and track them down and surround them. The only thing I don't understand is this part happens in Canada, and I don't think, like, unless the FBI had some sort of special relationship or something they were able to pull out, I don't know if the Canadian government would exactly do that, but okay. I mean, it's a movie, so we can forgive it. But yeah, basically, they track down, they get into the final battle, they take down the bad guy. It's not as epic as when Hans Gruber was killed. So, but, I mean, it's still pretty good. And, once again, like I said before in the opening, it's not Christmas. This time we did not get help from Carl Winslow. Or Sergeant Powell. Is his actual name in this universe. I do have a Sergeant Powell is Carl Winslow theory video if you want to check that out for fun. But yeah, so that was Die Hard with a Vengeance. We are going to take a little bit of a break, and when we come back, we will give our final thoughts and scores. See you in a minute.
Bye.
For thousands of years, the world has been protected by the Guardian of Light, or as he is more commonly known, Santa Claus. Over the centuries, factors such as fear and prejudice, greed and jealousy, misunderstandings, betrayal and war have segregated most humans from the magical world of elves, fairies, wizards, and the like. This has resulted in many misconceptions and generalizations of the true nature of Santa and his world.
This 6-book series by Sean Connaughton begins as the current of a long series of Guardians is murdered by a group of monstrous enemies recently escaped from an enchanted South Pole prison. These creatures are loyal to the darkness, an evil force determined to exterminate the light in order to enslave all creatures of the world.
Shane Connor, an average young man, suddenly finds himself being trained as the new Guardian. As he adapts to his new life among fantastic creatures, he goes on an adventurous quest with a legendary wizard for the ultimate weapon to use against the darkness, and faces murderous enemies like Rasputin, Morgana Le Fay, Krampus, and many more.
Along with his best friend Joe Gomez, Shane encounters politics, history, mysterious murders, new loves, his own hidden past, and racial dynamics among the fantasy races that turn out to be all too real. Their adventures reveal the true nature of the world and challenge the current state of how all races interact.
This series expertly melds myths, legends, history, faiths, folklore, and secret societies into a fascinating, cohesive, comprehensive world of wonder and magic.
From Atlantis to Olympus, from Hades to the moon, and from broomstick races to Christmas deadlines, join the new Santa Claus on his amazing journey. But beware! Will Shane's quest achieve his ultimate goal of destroying the darkness and preserving the light of the world? Or is he actually playing right into a plot by dark forces that will result in his, and our, ultimate doom?
So make your list and check it twice for the Guardian of Light book series. Download your audiobook or ebook today from Audible, Amazon, or iTunes.
Alright, we are back from our break, kind of. Last week we did hit 180 subscribers, so we want to say thank you to each and every one of you. The more people subscribe, the more we want to, keep making these videos. And your comments on what you might like to see in the future would really be a help. We have not done a D&D news episode in a while because, frankly, those videos don't seem to get a lot of views or comments. If there's something you want us to see, if there's something you'd like us to do for the channel, something you specifically want to know, let us know in the comments below. As you're seeing on screen right now, this is the free code. Every time we reach a new set of 10 subscribers, we give away a free code. And it's a little hard right now because of, Bidenomics to afford new movies. But I am doing my best. And this movie, I have seen it. It's pretty good. So if you are the one to get the code, I ask this every time. Please let us know down in the comments below that you claimed it and the code is used. That way people aren't constantly checking to see if they can use this code. With that said, let's get back to the end of the review. Alright, Cora, starting with you. Die Hard with a Vengeance. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this movie?
A 9 out of 10. I just don't feel like that John McClane was John McClane. Besides the fact that he's been McClane, he has a headache for like the entire movie.
Yeah?
He just didn't feel like the John McClane we know. Instead of the yippee-ki-yay thing, it doesn't feel like John McClane at all.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually did use that line in this. I think that was maybe only in the first two.
Yippee-ki-yay?
Yeah.
I heard it at the end.
Oh.
Congratulations, your death.
Anyways, keep going. Who's your favorite character then?
The black dude. Besides the fact he's racist and all, but he's so good.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. I just don't like the racist part.
And where do you know him from?
24?
Huh?
24?
No. Samuel L. Jackson was never in 24. Okay, that was weird. She's making dolphin noises now. I swear, one day I think you're gonna grow up to be a one of those people that like takes care of dolphins and sharks and other fish, and mammals, crustaceans. Anyways, did you have a favorite scene?
Yippee-ki-yay!
Okay. Anyways, moving on to my score then. I too would have to give this a 9 out of 10. It is good. It has a lot of good lines. It's not as good though as maybe Die Hard 2. Like, I felt like Die Hard 2 was much more of a Die Hard movie than this. Yeah, it was kind of the same plot over again, but it had the wife in it. It had Sergeant Powell in it. I always want to call him Carl Winslow because that's mainly what I know him from. But it had him in it. Yeah, it was Christmas again, and I'm kind of okay with the fact this one wasn't Christmas. Not everything in this universe has to happen at Christmas time.
There's a big army. Oh my god.
Although, just playing devil's advocate with this one, I feel like there would have been more gold and stuff in the banks, even for a business bank, at that time, being around Christmas time, because that's when they're going to make a lot more money. Rather than in the summer, where they're probably going to spend a little bit more money. So, maybe it should have been at Christmas time to logically have there be more gold in the bank. I think everybody in the cast did a really great job. I do like Samuel L. Jackson's character, like Cora. I hated, even back when I first saw this movie, I was like, oh my god, do they have to make him so racist? And this movie goes to show that this anti-white racism has been going on for some time. Like, even John McClane calls it out. And I feel like that was the writers trying to call it out way back then. Like, yes, he is clearly racist, and he didn't see himself that way. And I was just, like, disgusted every time I seen, like, that one scene where he's talking to his grandkids about stealing the radio. It's like, why do you have to do that? You know, this has just gotten insane now where we're at now, where you can look back at movies from the 80s and the 90s and see that, yeah, I mean, some people try to say it's all white people, which I really hate. I really hate this whole, oh, hate the white people, hate the white man, because, you know, a good portion of this world is white. It wasn't, like, a choice thing. It's just science and, what's the term? Ecology? It's just where people are from. The closer to the center, to the equator, that you were born, the darker your skin was probably going to be. Because there's more melatonin in your skin. And you know what? For the longest time, I've said this in a previous video, so many other people have said this. You know, no one really cared about race. Like, after 2000, like, no one was caring about race. Now, all of a sudden, in the past, like, 10 years, it's become slowly and majorly a big thing all over again. And to those people who do have, like, who are dark colored and hate white colored people, even though I'd say no one is actually white, it's like no one's actually black. I mean, maybe very rare. Okay, we might say that one or two people are so dark they look black. But technically they're brown, and technically we're peach.
And tan.
That would just be a version of brown. But my point is that you don't need this. The world does not need this. We had it beat. But we don't need to get... You people do not need to get revenge. If you are hating on another person because of their skin color, I don't care what color you are. What color you consider yourself. If you are hating on someone or wanting to get revenge for something that was done to you or someone in your family from a long time ago, because all these people that are claiming that they want reparations and stuff now did not actually suffer any slavery. Like, there are people out there right now who say, oh, I had ancestors that were slaves, so you owe me money. And no. So you're basically telling me you're just as shallow, if not worse, than the people you're hating against. You hate so much. You're just basically, it just comes down to you're jealous and you don't want to actually do anything with your life. You just want people to hand you shit. That's not how it works. And I've done videos in the past where I've gone in deeper depths with this stuff. So I am completely against all of this, no matter what color you are. But it seems to be that for the longest time, that people with darker colored skin seem to be more racist than people with whiter colored skin. So that's something to keep in mind. Because clearly, you know, like, this movie just goes and shows that, you know, that's how it's been. At least back in the 90s, that's how it was. Because you got people cannot accept the fact, and you know, by you people, I mean everybody who thinks this way. And there are white people that think this way too. So I'm not just calling out one group or one color. I'm calling anyone who thinks this way. You need to stop. Be better. Don't keep the problem going. Be better than the problem. Do better. Be the bigger person and let it go. Because the world is getting to a point now where people are laughing at you. They have videos all over YouTube of people freaking out, and people like me, I see these videos and I laugh at how stupid these people are. So either you want to keep providing other content creators content to laugh and show how stupid these people are, or people like you are, if you believe this way, or you can end it by letting it go and getting over yourselves. But that is why I hate the racism bit in this movie, while at the same time I'm also kind of glad because it shows just how long this anti-white racism has been going on. And you know what? We've had it probably just as bad, if not as worse, as people of color. So that's going to go ahead and wrap up this review for Die Hard with a Vengeance. Book 6 of my series, The Guardian of Light, should be coming out sometime in September. I don't know when. Like I said, my narrator and editor is in and out of the hospital. So let's wish him all the best. And with that, we will see you all in the next video.